Sit back. I'm going to tell you the reality of modern relationships. The main reason most men find no success, and it's only the top 20% who do, is all in the strategy. Most men go in with simp mentalities. They look at their parents' marriage and think, yeah, I can be content with something of this sort. But the reality is, relationships aren't like that anymore. Majority of the women aren't like that anymore. And I'll give you the reason for that later. But first, we have to understand what kind of men women are gravitating towards in the modern day. And the answer is the men who are around other women. You heard that right. As a man, you'd get the wrong impressions if a girl is around too many guys all the time. But it's the complete opposite for women. They want you to be dating other women. They want you to have that social proof. This doesn't mean you sleep around with everybody and become used stock. No. But it's a fact that women are turned on when they see you succeed with other women. And the reason for that is simple. For a woman, the quickest way to judge the value and caliber of a man is by observing what other women think about him. If others are highly into him, they'll be like, all right, this boy is worth my time too. Just observe the Stanley bottle craze amongst girls nowadays. They don't care if they come off as sheeps vying for the same exact thing. They see other women partaking and attach their own worth to that piece of item too. Similarly, whether you're a high-value man, both externally and internally or not, what matters more is how you're perceived by other women. Even if you are in a committed relationship, the only way you can maintain the attraction your chick has for you is by her seeing that other women are still interested in you. When you go out with her and the girls are staring at you and trying to be around you, trust me, her attraction to you will get stronger and stronger. But when you let go of yourself and get comfortable in the relationship, you lose that edge. You lose that dating market value you had initially, and that matters a lot. To have your relationship remain rock solid, she has to see that other women are gunning for you. Women desire that thrill of chase. She'll want to prove that she's worth your time and not these other chicks. I just saw this funny little post on Twitter the other day, but under its humorous elements, you'll see exactly what I'm saying right now on display. It's a post by this woman who says her hubby kept on asking her to make her lunch to take to work in the morning, but she was too lazy to get up and even bother. One day he tells his wife that his coworker brought 2 spoons so they both could eat her lunch together, since he didn't have any. And guess what? The wife set an alarm for 4:30 the next morning, and best believe that man went to his office with lunch. Now this story isn't even from a man, as one may assume when he's unaware of how the game actually is. She, that is the wife, literally posted this herself on her own account. I just had to tell you to show the real-world application of whatever I'm telling you right now. The fact is, women get energized and remain attracted when they know there is still a challenge, when the predators outside are still lurking. If your girl is never jealous or fearful of losing you, trust me, she'll lose her attraction to you in a snap. That's the reality of so many men. And the reason for that I'll tell you right now. Back in the old days, when there were no phones or the internet, everyone lived in very close-knit communities. The only people you had access to were those right around you, and if you wanted to communicate with anyone in the outside world, letters would take months to transfer information. In the modern day, however, the entire world is inside a little square in our pockets. You can literally go to any part of the world with this tiny machine we all own, all while lying comfortably on your couch. I want you to truly grasp this power we all tend to overlook. Now, maybe while you were chasing her in the old days, you had to stand out and make her believe you're the big shot. But that was only till the time you got her. Once she was yours and you both were married, living happily ever after, there was a really small probability that another guy so jarring would enter the picture that she'd start gravitating towards him more than you. But guess what? In the modern world, that's what tends to happen. You'll be out working your sedentary job the entire day, come back home with your belly protruding out, while she, during her day, was probably on the internet looking at how well other men are treating their partners, or how desired some men are, while she's stuck with a slob like you. You might mistake it for the usual development of a relationship, but trust me, it's not. So, what should you do as a man? Firstly, don't go out and cheat. Cheating doesn't make anyone jealous, it just makes them hate your guts. What you want to do is take care of yourself and be as goal-oriented as you were in the start. You want to fuel that flare she saw within you in the start. Truth be told, it's like killing two birds with one stone. If you're keeping yourself in shape and staying motivated, you'll keep your relationship healthy while also not losing the thrill of life as you age, as most do. Let's say you do the opposite. You become comfortably committed. The moment you do, the hypergamy will instantly become less satisfied. If you're not aware, hypergamy is when someone actively seeks out a partner above their own status in the social hierarchy. Most men don't have the leverage to do such a thing, hence it's predominantly women who make the most out of it. Hence, you want to get yourself as high as possible in the hierarchy to have the best chances. Now, when you get lazy and let yourself go, while before you were an 8 and she was a 7, now you're both 7s. Her desire will slowly start to drop as you become more predictable in everything you do and say. She'll know exactly where you stand, and in the back of her mind, the thought will start creeping in that maybe I can do better than him. It won't come by in an instant. It'll cook slowly over time until it turns into such a big tumor that it kills the relationship. You'll notice how her attitude starts worsening with you. She'll become more argumentative, she'll lose her carnal attraction to you, and in the very end, she'll leave. That's how it goes. The main thing you must understand is that what you want in a woman, she desires the exact opposite in her man. This idea tends to be super difficult for men to understand, primarily because they can't accept one crucial fact. Women see the world from a completely different lens than you. Just because something makes sense to you doesn't mean it'll make sense to her. Just because you value something doesn't mean she'll value it too. It goes vice versa. What a man usually wants in a woman is for her to be loyal, to be caring and sweet, and that she doesn't talk to a whole lot of other men. Those are your requirements, right? They're the basics for most men. Now, whatever you think you want, just take its opposite to get what women want. What she desires, and it may conflict with your own ideals, bear that in mind, is a man who has options, but out of all those options, he's choosing her. It elevates her own value and worth. To conclude, brothers, as a man, you can't afford to get comfortable and lazy. Keep yourself at the top of your game and keep her jealous of all the women always shooting your shot at you. She'll pretend to be upset by it, but you'll notice her desire for you rise higher and higher. She'll continuously do things to get your eyes fixated on her. That competition she'll be in, that'll keep her gears moving. She'll give you intimacy on a tray. She'll keep a good attitude, and she'll even wake up at 4:30 in the morning to make you lunch for work. That's how the game goes. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you liked and agree with the message, make sure you support the channel by dropping a like down below and subscribing for future content. With that said, see you in the next one. Stay blessed.